I'm going to read you the same story we just heard in Matthew over in Mark. Same story, but it's told a little different. Does it mean that Matthew is in conflict with Mark, or Mark in conflict with Matthew? It just means one tells more details than the other one. Jesus left that place and went to the vicinity of Tyre. He entered a house and didn't want anyone to know it, yet he could not keep his presence secret. In fact, as soon as she heard about him, a woman whose little daughter was possessed by an evil spirit came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek born in Syrian Phoenicia. She begged Jesus to drive the demon out of her daughter. First, let the children eat all they want, he told her, for it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to their dogs. Yes, Lord, she replied, but even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. Then he told her, for such a reply, you may go, the demon has left your daughter. She went home and found her child lying on the bed and the demon gone. Now, there's a lot we can learn in this story, and we need to pay attention to every bit of it. You heard such scriptures at the beginning of this service. Blessed is the man who does this, the man who holds it fast, who keeps the Sabbath without desecrating it. How many sermons in your life have you heard that said you'd better be in church on Sunday? You'd better be there. Have you heard a few? If you haven't, you will. But not from me. You heard a few, haven't you? Yeah, and you too, Joe, right? I've heard a lot of them. You just might be going to hell if you're not in church. Why, you'll lose your faith. And I've heard this sort of sermon in denominations across the board. From Baptist and Roman Catholic and everything in between. I've heard that once or twice. Now this is why I get in trouble with boards of elders and all kinds of people in the official church. That's wrong. First of all, let's look in the Bible, and I want you to find where it's written in the scriptures that Jesus set foot in church more than once. Can you find it for me? Can you point it out to me? There was one time at Nazareth, we find him in the synagogue preaching, and they tried to kill him. Any of you who can find me one other time, I'll buy you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Maybe 2 cups of coffee, maybe a pie too, or whatever they have over there. Jesus went on vacation, and he left the country. This isn't taking place inside of Israel. He's gone to Tyre. He's gone next door. He's gone into the ancient home of the headquarters of the Phoenicians, Hiram of Tyre, that dealt with Solomon. This is the place where Jezebel was born. He has gone across the border, and he didn't tell anybody where he was going. He's rented a condo on the beach. Now, all your pictures of Jesus you have in your mind, he's kneeling in the Garden of Gethsemane with his hands folded, praying, "Oh Lord, deliver this cup from me." Okay, that's fine. That's one image of him. You have this image of this pious holy man wandering through the countryside, don't you? Do you have an image yet in your mind of Jesus on the beach? Well, get it in there, because this is where he is. He's on the beach. That's what Tyre has, is a seashore, a beach, a place to relax, a place to play, a place to listen to the water come and go, a place to watch the sunset across the sea, a place to rejuvenate, to refresh, to recover. Now, what have you learned from this picture of Jesus? One, the picture that you always have to be doing something and being productive, that you need to feel guilty if you're not chugging forward and accomplishing. In fact, back in Isaiah, the passage about the man who's blessed if he keeps the Sabbath holy is talking about exactly what Jesus is doing. The Sabbath, Shabbat in Hebrew, means day of rest. And the scriptures say, do it. Take a day off. And Jesus has done it. Of course, he's being disturbed. The woman wants him to heal her daughter. And she's not a Jew. She's a woman from around there somewhere. Not of the house of Israel at all. What right does she have? All the rights in the world. All the rights in the world. Because Jesus was not sent merely to the Jews, but sent to all of us. He was sent to the Jews, but he was not sent only to them. The good news that's all through the Old Testament is that the word there is not only for the people who are writing it down in Hebrew, but it's for the whole world. It's for the foreigner. It's for the one who never even knew what Israel looked like or anything about it. That's another thing we learned here, is the good news of Christ, the good news of his redemption for us, is for all of us, no matter how we were born, to whom we were born, or where we were born. It's for all of us. It's for all the world. I remember once being in a church where somebody took objection to all the kinds of people that we had there. There were black people attending the church, and he went, ah! But Jesus is for everybody. What this poor guy didn't know was how many different kinds of people we had there. We had Hispanics, and you couldn't tell the difference by looking at them. We had Syrians. Yeah, we had a fellow who was born very near where Jesus is playing in this scripture. The people from all over. And the scripture is for people from all over. Not just for you and me, but for all kinds of people. The other thing we learn is something about prayer. And I think this is the most important thing today here. The unimaginable has happened. The woman has a very serious need. Her daughter is very ill. Her daughter's in serious trouble. Jesus fixed it. Now, our God is a loving God, isn't he? So, of course, he would do that, wouldn't he? That's not what this passage says at first. God didn't want to. Jesus is God. And God didn't want to do it. That's an awesome thought, isn't it? You take a plea to God and he says, no. Help me, Lord, I'm bleeding to death. And the Lord goes, okay. All right. That's a grievous thought, isn't it? It's one of the answers you could get from God, though, isn't it? But does the woman just say, oh, no, God, you're being mean to me, or, oh, no, I wish you would, but I guess you're not? Is that what she does here? No, it isn't, is it? She keeps hammering on him. God gives her a reason why not to do it. Yeah, but she comes right back at him. There's a conversation going here. Teaches us something about prayer, you know. That God, so many of us offer up to God a prayer that says, God, I need something here. Okay, now I've told you, goodbye. You know, we sign off. God's wanting a conversation with this woman. He wants an interaction with this woman. Tell me why. Put it in words. Not only what you want, but why you want it and why you think you ought to get it. Talk to me. Converse with me. And she does. And she does. The children's bread shouldn't be thrown to the dogs. But even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. She's expecting this God to watch over her. And she has faith that he will. And he does. And in fact, in this case, her daughter is healed. She went home. And everything was all right. So, when you're dealing with God, when you're talking to God, I think it's not sufficient just to lay it on the table and walk away. It's better to open the conversation and see what God has to say about it, and talk some more with him about it. On numerous occasions, perhaps. I think we can see that in this story. Amen.